There was a conversation. Kevin Weeks reported that there is a deal in place. Now, he can't sign this until July 1st, and technically speaking, they're not even supposed to be talking about it till July 1st.
No, and they never.
They never would. They never would. There was a rumor about Joseph Woll earlier this week from Kevin Weeks, and I think what's notable about Joseph Woll is the extension is supposed to be 3 to 4 years at $3.5 to $4 million. It's notable that not a single other insider corroborated that.
It is.
And I checked, and from what is being said, no one else can confirm it.
Weeksy might have jumped the gun.
So potential jumping of the gun.
Weeksy. Mm-hmm. You said Weeksy might have jumped the gun? I thought you said Steve might have jumped. I was like, hey, I didn't see it.
No, I said Weeksy.
Weeksy
might have jumped the gun there.
But here's what Brad Treliving had to say about it, because I think it's one of those things that it's rare to get one insider saying something and none of the others even tweet about it.
Yeah, like,
like a major league
3-on-3 league.
Let's play the clip.
You weren't wrong just early.
Yeah. We feel we got a real good goalie, and I talked about it at the end of the year in Joe Woll, like a really good goalie. We also talked at the end of the year about, he's had some unfortunate instances of getting injured. Now, you study that. Is there a pattern? Is this, and again, now touch wood, sometimes with goaltenders, I look at it a little bit. Is it hips? Is it groins? Is it those? He's had some things that just have happened, right? That sometimes you get injured. So certainly we want to help him stay upright. But no question, we've got I don't see an internal candidate right now that we're going to promote with Joe. So that's, whether that be the trade market, whether that be through free agency, we've certainly got to look at the goaltending.
Okay, let's pause it there. Now, this is a player who has started 34 games.
Is that regular season and playoffs?
No, that's just regular season.
Okay.
Playoffs actually surprisingly high. He started 4 games in the playoffs, but he's played 7. He has played in 36 NHL games. Mm-hmm. Joe Woll's 24 years old. People forget this. And sorry, he's not 24. He's 20. He's going to be 26 by the time the season starts.
He's a 2016 draft pick.
No wonder people forget that he's 24.
Because
he's not.
Because that was 2 years ago. That's why they forgot.
That's why they forgot.
Yeah. Now, this guy's numbers are great. Even last year, where his numbers dipped down, 276 goals against average and a .912 save percentage. But at 36 games played in, 34 started. Mm-hmm. His entire career to this point encapsulates a pretty good backup goaltender's stats over one season. And I understand there have been injuries.
Yeah.
I was the one saying after 7 games last year, this is the goalie of the future. I think that he is. But I have a real problem, and it goes back to your cap thing. I have a real problem signing this guy before he's made them do it. Because if, and you remember Brad Treliving with Keith Pelly and Brendan Shanahan, and Brad said, listen, we got to find ways to keep this guy healthy. Is it training? Is it this? Is it that? At the end of the day, whatever it is, they could re-sign him if this report is true from Kevin, and I have no reason to believe it's not. If this is true, this is a player that's played 34 career games. Yep. This is a player that could go into camp, strain a hamstring or a groin, and we don't see him till December.
Or just not be very good.
And I don't understand.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think he is good. But
what would be the rush here? Why can't you wait till November? You waited till December for Nylander.
Adam, it sounds like
make them pay you.
It sounds like an obsession. Everything comes back to the core 4. The Leafs can't afford, like literally can't afford, a scenario where Joseph Woll
is a $6 million goal
comes into the season, is a top 10 goalie in the league up until Christmas, and then they got to pay him like not 7, that'd be too high, but like 5-6 million. When you have a salary structure like the Toronto Maple Leafs, you have to take risks. You have to take risks and hope this guy's a unicorn. You're basically trying to fool the kid. Like you're giving him security. Hey, you know how you're injured all the time?
Yeah.
We're going to give you way too much money for the amount of games you've played. Like a preposterous amount of money for the amount of games you played. But we think you're going to be good. But it's in the back of our mind, and I know it's in the back of your mind that you're hurt a lot. So we're going to give you probably less than you would earn at the end of this season if it's a good one, but a lot more than you would earn at the end of the season if you end up getting hurt again.
So this is my issue with that. When I almost called him Sergei Samsonov. When Sammy got the Leafs to the second round, when Sammy was non-tendered by the Washington Capitals, then becomes the starter over Matt Murray. Oh my God, what a bleak time. I don't even think we realized. Sammy becomes the starter over Matt Murray, has a banger year, backstops them through the Tampa Bay Lightning, who were better than the Leafs in 4 of 5 games. They were better than the Leafs most of that series.
6 games.
6 games, excuse me.
Yeah.
They were better than 4. I think the Leafs were the better team 2 games in that series.
Yeah, they
you go back and you look
in like one game. Yeah.
No, you go back and you look.
Game 6 especially, Sammy was the number 1 star of that game.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then he gets injured in the second round. The Leafs extend him 1 year, and they pay him how much?
3.5.
3.55.
Oh, so 3.55 after going to arbitration.
Why?
After going to arbitration.
Why?
And
after getting the Leafs to the second round for the first time in 19 years, the Leafs only had to pay Sammy 3.55. Why are we going to extend this goalie who, and again, he was great in the playoffs. He was great in the playoffs against the Panthers. He was great in Boston. He was great when Sammy was awful last year, unplayable last year. And then what happened? Woll got injured once in the regular season when he was doing well, came back, wasn't great, and then somehow drew in the playoffs and was fantastic again until what? He got injured. What are we doing? You're going to pay him more than you paid Sammy? Sammy got you to the second round. And I'm not saying they should bring back Sammy. I'm just saying that number is completely out of whack. And the best comparable I can give is Jake Sanderson. And Jake Sanderson's big deal last year, which we all freaking laughed at, Jake had a really good year in Ottawa. He's one of the only players on that roster with a plus on those plus minus. That was a terrible team. He played 2 more minutes a game. He scored double-digit goals. And that team was atrocious. They couldn't score. They couldn't move the puck. They couldn't do anything. The Jake Sanderson bet is understandable. And they don't have $1 bazillion at the top end of their cap. What are we doing? I love Joseph Woll. I want him to be the starter.
Yeah.
Earn it.
There are guys who, well, no, Adam. No. Because what do you think Joseph Woll could be?
I think he could be a top 10 goaltender in the league. That's how I feel about Joseph Woll. I am that confident in this guy.
I think he can be a starting goaltender. The Toronto Maple Leafs think he can be a starting goaltender. He thinks he can be a starting goaltender. Starting goaltenders don't make the amount of money that you want him to make. That's why you lock him up now.
He's not yet. He's not.
Okay.
You aren't until you are.
But you pay him $3 or $4 million now, because if he actually gets to where you and he and everyone seems to think he could get to, he's going to make more. You're looking at Sanderson, and Kaprizov is another guy who like played no games and then got this huge extension. You got to look at goalies, and like
Kaprizov had a
I know
banger.
I know. That's why forwards don't work here. So I'm thinking like,
show me a goalie that this has ever worked for.
Well, the only one I can think of is like Jordan Binnington, who played like no games, but also won a Stanley Cup. But he got a lot more. He got, I think it's like 5.6.
And has been iffy and so ever since.
It's weird. He's been unusable and like elite.
Yeah.
It sort of depends.
Yep.
On how he's feeling or how many fights he's tried to start. The Leafs have to take this risk, or feel like they have to take this risk, because of the dumb ass donkey complexion of their salary cap.
If Joe Woll plays 34 games again next year, even if his numbers are the same, something terrible has gone wrong.
Yeah.
And that is he's gotten injured and missed 20.
Yep.
And if that's the case, that contract's a disaster.
Yep.
If that continues.
If that's the case, then the contract doesn't matter because he'll be on LTIR and you get the cap space back.
I suppose.
Am I the only one who doesn't think like what was Weeks' extension? What did he
between
propose?
3.5 and 4 million, and between 3 and 4 years.
Let's say it's $3.5 million or even like $4 million. I don't think that it's that much.
It's a good contract.
I just can't.
People are getting lost in the games.
I cannot stand.
I think it's a good contract.
These guys earn it first, please.
I get
have
that.
no problem
No.
with Nylander. I have no problem with Nylander earning the money he got. He earned it.
Yeah,
He earned it.
I agree.
And he earned it on the first contract. And people forget, like, you know, when the Leafs signed Mitch Marner's coming off a 94-point season. When the Leafs signed Matthews is coming off a 60-goal season, whatever. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But like, we need to earn this. We need to earn this.
Here's what I'm going to make some assumptions. The educated guesses here. So Samsonov signs for 3.55 after going to salary arbitration. You go, well, he signed for that after getting the Leafs to the second round. And Sammy probably went, what the hell? I got you to the second round. And what the Leafs probably did was go, yeah, but the majority of your track record before joining us sucked ass, and we made you good. We want to bring you back, but we made you good. You can extrapolate that maybe that hurt his confidence going forward after that arbitration hearing, and that affected the first 3-4 months of his season.
I don't think it was that.
I don't know.
Alan and I talked about arbitration. By the way, it's not like that anymore.
It's not like that anymore?
It's not
Thank
combative
goodness.
at all. They've stopped doing that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Alan has a really good take on arbitration in one of our episodes.
Well, either way, Samsonov's problem was he had a track record
Of being up and down.
of mostly down.
And we've got
And-
a goalie who's a track record of being injured.
Yeah. But, when I'm in net,
He's great. I
And-
love Woll.
Woll also has leverage.
Yeah, who you got? Because
Who you-
Treliving just said,
He-
we got nobody.
He showed his hand. But I think Hildeby is going to be an NHL goalie. I think Artur Akhtimov is going to be an NHL goalie. They're not yet. Those guys are 5 years younger than Woll. 4 or 5 years younger than Woll. They don't have anyone coming up immediately. They literally don't have anyone else. They have to sign free agents. Woll has so much leverage here. The cons are, I get hurt sometimes. The pros are, I'm really good and you have no one else. So pony up or I can wait and charge you more. The Leafs have put themselves in a position of perpetual extortion. And it's going to be really difficult for them to win with the way things are
I
built
think
right
you make
now.
a really good point there.
If
Go ahead,
Joseph
Jesse, sorry.
Woll gets paid $4 million, currently he would be the 25th highest goaltender in the National Hockey League.
It's not a disaster.
He'd be tied with Jonas Korpisalo and Jake Ottinger, who will also make $4 million.
Wow. So, maybe we just got to adjust our expectations, and not everyone can be signed to the Igor Shesterkin contract, which, can you like put an agent in prison for
But
signing a contract? Like, you probably ought to be able to.
If you tell me going into the 25-26 season, that'd be next season, right? Yeah, got my guess right.
That after this up.
That following season, when his RFA deal kicks in, like this new one that he's going to sign, Joseph Woll is the 25th highest goaltender in the National Hockey League. I'd say, sounds about right.
Well, and that number's going to go down probably, right?
Because guys are going to get signed in between that, like all the free agent deals that'll be signed this offseason and next offseason. And with the cap going up, I'd be like, 25th highest paid goaltender is about the right area Joseph Woll should be.
Adam's reservations are valid.
Yeah.
They are. But I have enough
No, I'm
confidence.
stupid. Just read the comments.
Yeah, no. Your reservations about
I
this deal-
understand where you're coming from, where like he's proven nothing.
Yeah.
Like, but why are the Leafs so eager
And I
to give
love
out
him.
contracts to guys who have proven nothing? That's 100% a thing that happens in Toronto very often.
Yeah,
It's like
it's not that they've proven nothing,
Mhm.
but Marner, Matthews, Nylander, and Tavares, when they signed their contracts, what had they done? They'd won nothing.
Right.
They'd won nothing.
Yep.
That's a vicious, real fact.
Mhm.
And what's still the case?
They've won nothing. Listen,
I'm struggling with this.
it's like a movie with a really good trailer. That's Joseph Woll right now. Listen, the movie might suck. Damn, the trailer looks good. And the trailer's going to make me,
looks great.
the trailer makes me want to watch the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, outside
Okay.
of outside
I'm
of the
turning.
context of him not really having accomplished anything in the National Hockey League, I think where he would slot in would be correct in what we've seen in terms of his playoff performance when he's been healthy. It's been good, like that's okay. And it's also they haven't done this yet.
Yeah. You know what, Jesse? And you know what?
Like who knows when it actually comes in?
This is why
as you started this conversation is like no other inside has corroborated his report, Kevin Weeks's. So we'll see what it actually comes out to.
Now, if the Leafs could score anything, and they were dummied by the Bruins on that side of it, And I understand that Nylander had his head thing. I understand Matthews was hurt or sick. Injuries happen. But let me just run you through the 3 games, but 2 that he started. This is what's so tantalizing about this player.
I know.
Do you know what Woll's stats were when he was playing?
He probably made 76 out of 78 saves.
I'll just give you the stat. 2 wins, right? Yep. 3 games. Goals against average of a 0.86. Save percentage of a 9.64 in the playoffs.
Wow.
So even with the Leafs and their absolute anemic trash power play, their bullshit 5-on-5, their terrible zone entries.
Should be good. All their money's spent on 4 guys.
They're absolute, like, if you go back and you watch those games, and I do encourage you to, nothing burger. Just crap when it comes to the offensive side, which is so embarrassing because that's where all their money is.
No, they should. They
still could have won that series if they got numbers like that from the goaltender.
Yeah.
And how good does your defense really need to be if your goalie just won't let anything in?
Yeah, just simply won't.
And so maybe that's the defenseman up. That's the defensive upgrade that they're looking for.
So the problem is the forwards. Extend all of them and add more.
Yes,
and
exactly.
make Morgan Riley play with mailmen.